All right, folks, this is like the official welcome to everyone in the Rockets October cohort. And hope we work a lot on the feedback side and polish your projects as well as communication skills to get you interview ready, because that is what we're here for, right? We are not like including the team, including me, including you. We're not here for fun. Of course, fun is a side activity, but we are all here to get jobs. And in that context, this is me, Swapnil. I know all of you are interviews with me only, but just uh, saying that again, we have two people, um, two team members on the call. We have Sachin. Say hi to Sachin. We have Pratik. Pratik is also here, and the entire team is responsible for your success. So anytime, any doubts you have, um, the best thing that you can do is ask in the Discord's channel itself, the channel that we have for a private, it's a very private space, just 40 folks. We have that. Any questions you have, put that here. If it is something personal, you can ping any of the team members, or you can directly ping me anytime as well. So with that out of the way, just like take a moment to congratulate everyone here. Just like, do a pat yourself on the back. And the reason for that is making 5 projects is hard. And I'm saying this from experience. This is not like कि पहली बार हमने cohort चलाया है, so we don't know. We know we have been doing this for 2 years now, and we get like thousands of applications, and the drop-off rate is 95%. Like what that means is, if 100 people start doing or going the project's way, they register on a website, they start building the project. They come with the intention of building 5 projects. Out of every 100, only 5 people make it to the end. And then uske baad interview bhi. But interview is more of, like, as you know already, interview is more of just checking whether you have copy pasted or not. But yeah, so this is like a pretty high filter to cross. So just take a moment to congratulate yourselves. The hard part from the technical thing is done. Now comes the other side of the interview preparation part, which is actually communicating to the interviewer that hire me. So that is all we'll start doing from today's session itself. Before that, the one mindset change that I want you to start having from day one. This is something that I'll keep repeating throughout the cohort. But if you had read the announcement wherein I said you should make notes, now's the time to bring out that notebook. If you want a physical notebook, you can bring out a physical notebook. If you are if you're making notes in your digital Notion or Google Docs, just open that now. Now's the time to do that. And the first line you should write there is, you are hireable. This is something I keep saying in every cohort, because every cohort you have to build 5 projects, you have to write blogs, you have to clear interviews. Not the interview, but you have to sort of showcase projects, convince the other person that, hey, I have done this myself, maybe answer some questions related to them, which pretty much ensures that your understanding of technical concepts is there. From a job readiness perspective, you are there from a technical perspective. This is something that you should start internalizing from today. I'm not saying this mindset change will come in one day, but the more you keep saying it to yourself, you will understand, magic will happen. And what I mean by magic is, the confidence shift in yourself will happen when you yourself believe that you are hireable. Of course, there are a bunch of things that we'll do inside as well, which will give you more confidence. But the majority of that confidence will come from within you when you say to yourself that you are hireable. Of course, I'm telling you are hireable. And what is my confidence based on is a proof of work. I'm not saying this to random people. I'm not doing a YouTube live and I'm saying this, hey, you are hireable, to any random person, right? I'm saying this to a very small, very curated set of like a group of 40 folks that you are hireable, and there's a it is backed by data. It is not that like it's not a coin toss when I say you are hireable, coin toss you're not hireable, not like that. It's a proper data backed confidence that I'm showing in you you're hireable. So this is something you should write it down. You'll thank me later, but yeah, write it down. If you thought कि नहीं ये बस ऐसे ही बोल दिया and ये तो कुछ we'll wait for some other insight फिर लिखेंगे, ऐसा मत करो. Write it. This is going to be one of the most important takeaways. All right, moving to the next part, which is community values of Roc8. Since this is the first session, I want to start off at the right foot. Roc8 is a community, of course. It is also a very tightly knit community. It's a very talent dense community. All of you are pretty much at a similar technical level. From like if you compare this cohort with any random group of people who have just graduated from college or looking from jobs, this is a pretty dense cohort because from a technical perspective, you all have had to build a lot of things to get here. So we have 3 values as of now. Of course, it can increase or it can change with time, but as of now, the community values, and I want to say this because like this is something that we really follow at Roc8. So if any of this sort of you feel that hey, this might be a bit challenging for me, so of course we'll try to inculcate that. But for any reason, if you're not able to do that, then maybe Roc8 is not the place for you. And I'll talk about the target TG of Roc8 as well, right? Roc8 is not meant for top tier college students. Roc8's target audience is tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 college students who have the skills, who have the grit, who have the patience, who have the fighting spirit to build all this proof of work on their own or with the help of some learning resources from various platforms like YouTube or Udemy or some boot camps. And this self-learner mindset what sets us apart. This is almost as this is almost an act of rebellion in some sense, wherein you are saying, hey, forget where I'm coming from. You look at my skills and give me opportunities based on that. So this is like, I'm just setting the context here, the target. This is the core TG of Roc8. So like every one of you here, all 40 of you in this cohort are in some sense rebellious by nature. And the current system, whatever it says, ki you should get this, you should do this, whatever, you're like, no, I want something else. I think, or I deserve, or I will put in effort from something else and I'll get it no matter what. So all of us are go-getters. Okay, all right. So starting from the first community value is give more than you get. And you'll see that starting from today's session as well, wherein whenever we have feedback activities, so all Roc8 sessions are feedback activities, wherein it's not like just theory, you go back home and you're like, okay, maybe I saw a webinar. It's not like that. It will be very actionable feedback. Whenever you interact with your cohort members, always lead with giving. You start with giving feedback before you get. And if you just think that, okay, this person helped me and so I will help it, that's not going to work. You should, from in the sense, if you want to keep a ledger, like I don't think you should, but if you are subconsciously keeping a ledger, that ledger should tilt more towards giving than getting. And again, saying this from experience, the people who get the max out of this cohort, this community, the learnings and everything we have is people who give. And I'll talk also about one of the mindsets, which is scarcity versus abundance mindset. The scarcity mindset is something which school has taught us, wherein school has taught us that, hey, if there's a class of 100, only 1, 2, or 3 people can be toppers, and unka hi life will be good, and baki ka, it's sort of a mess or whatever. Like, you'll have to do some other things, and school has always taught us that opportunities are limited. Versus when you cross over to the abundance mindset, which I want you to believe that you all are in. Again, not something that you'll feel with day one, but you'll see with time that once you have crossed the barrier of having real skills, that is what I'll call it, that you've built proof of work, so you have real skills. You're not saying, hey, I can do this. You are saying, hey, I have done this. So now that you have real skills, you should move to the abundance mindset stage, wherein you acknowledge, you agree, you understand that the world is full of opportunities. And instead of trying to bring someone down, all of us can help each other and move forward collectively. All right. So that is the first community value. Second one is, let me just type it here as well. Second one is ask for help. Of course, again, this is something that since the early ages we have been taught that, hey, there should, the lesser number of questions we ask, the more smart we are or whatever. But I want to sort of, at least when you are in Roc8 sessions or interacting with anyone here, ask for help wherever needed. No questions are small. And this is meant to act as a safe space. This is meant to course correct you before going to the real interviews, because if you go to the real interview directly, you'll make mistakes there and it will cost you those opportunities. Instead, we have like 1 month simulated activity playground for you built here, wherein whatever learnings, so basically we are providing you here learnings that will short circuit your journey to your first job. So you have to come with them with an open mind. You have to ask for help wherever you feel you are stuck, because if you think that, hey, I don't need any help in anything, then you're not, this is not the best use of your time. Maybe you can just watch Netflix instead. So ask for help. This is a safe space. There are no judgments here. If you don't ask questions, then I'll judge you that, hey, why even are you on this call? So if questions are big or small, you should ask, not just to me, but to others as well. So that is the second thing. And third is sort of fairy tale vibes, which is like we are sort of a guild, and never say no to Roc8 alums wherever you are. Why I'm saying this is because all of you, I know, and again, this is not like a random just कहने के लिए कहते वैसा नहीं है. I know all of you in 3 to 5 years are going to be at amazing places at different companies. And I want you to remember ki, like if you find any Roc8 alum anytime and they reach out to you for anything, never say no. All right. With that, we'll move to today's activity. Any questions for like anything so far, or any random questions? It could be unrelated to whatever we talked about so far as well. So you can just raise your hand.
Yeah. Like, can I ask for us this side?
Yes, go for it.
So like my question is that since like we are working also, like apart from this, like so what exactly will be the timings of the sessions and what the frequency will be in the week, so that we can plan accordingly?
It's 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. on weekends.
Okay, so it will be there on weekends as well.
Yeah, weekend pay there would be like longer sessions.
So like so my work is like sometimes I need to work in the weekends also. So is there any like way forward in that case?
So मतलब if you're working on weekend, तो उसमें मैं like बताओ उसमें क्या कर सकते हैं?
So no, like since these sessions are recorded, so will I get access to that?
No. Like as soon as you get access to recordings, will stop showing up live, and most of the learnings happen in live sessions. So yeah.
So like in that case, I will be stuck, right? because this coming weekend only I have, like in a month, only one weekend I have work. So the 3 weekends I'm free. So
got it. Okay, let's figure this out offline.
okay.
All right. What are the timings? All right. You said this structure. Can you please explain the basic plan? Yeah. So basically, there are two parts to this cohort. The first part is polishing your profile, your portfolio, so that you get your foot in the door. So think of it as there are two parts to getting a job. One is getting an interview, and the other is clearing that interview. And we need to focus on both, because if we just get you more interviews and you're not able to clear them, then the conversion is not there. And if you're ready to crack an interview but you're not even getting interviews, so again, the same problem. So the first part is more focused on making your profile so that you get an interview, and then the second part is actually clearing that interview. So first part would be more of like meta things. We'll start with itself. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Okay, we'll start. So the first thing that maybe we'll keep this interactive. All right. So what is the first thing that any recruiter sees on your profile? You can just unmute yourselves, or you can raise your hand however you want. I would prefer you raise your hand so that I know who's saying, who's not saying. Quick shout out to Manak, Anshul, Ananya. You have your videos off, and the team is sort of just pinged me ki nikalna hai, nahi nikalna hai. So you have like 1 minute. Otherwise, again, like if you're not active in the call, you'll not get the most out of it. It's first day, so I think we'll give you benefit of the doubt. But yeah, from tomorrow, the video needs to be on at all times. All right, Harsh, now go for it.
I don't know about the recruiters, but if I log on to a website, I would check accessibility first. Am I able to understand what the website is about? Am I able to access all of their elements, understand what they are trying to provide? And like if I have to, and then some websites I've noticed, like you just have to click for some very basic feature that you use regularly. So all of that comes under user experience. So yeah, that would be my first approach.
All right. Can you just repeat what is the question?
No, I did not ask any question.
Nee, can you just repeat what was the question?
You asked what would a recruiter see first in your portfolio.
Got it. Rajesh?
I guess the first thing the recruiter sees is your resume. Your resume and matching skills, if you have those requirements that company requires a candidate should have in there.
All right. Okay, cool. Let's do reflection from everyone. How we do things here is whenever we ask a question in the chat, we use something called a waterfall activity. So you have a question in the chat, you have maybe 20 to 30 seconds to type that answer out. And when I say 3, 2, 1, go, everyone puts their answers at the same time. It is mostly so that you don't get biased. Let's say abhi tumne do answers sun liye, so you'll be biased in some way. But for all future questions, we'll lead with this activity so that we want to hear from everyone. And again, this is something that you should write down in the notes as well. The earlier you start interacting in the cohort, the better the outcome will be for you. So take the onus on you. And I'll give this an example as well, right? If for any reason, if you're intimidated by speaking up in a group of 40 people, wherein the stakes are 0, right? Abhi the stakes are 0. Let's say if you tell an answer to me, like I'm not evaluating you for a job, right? So if the reason you're not speaking up is because you think that arey bahut log hain, ya phir, should I say or not, then this is exactly the mindset that you need to get out of. Because in an interview setting, the stakes are going to be higher. You have to speak up. So use this as a practice ground. I will sort of I will want ki like within a week itself, all of you start speaking. All right. So, all right, we'll give you 20-30 seconds. You don't need to type very long answers. You can type some phrases and all. Ideally, I would want answers from everyone. Let's keep this interactive. And wait. We'll take 20 more seconds. All right, don't press enter yet. अरे रुक जाओ भाई सुनो ना, like see, this is again another thing. अरे रुको भाई. हाँ, so this is something that that is something which is like a core evaluation criteria whenever someone is hiring junior developers, is do they have attention to detail. What that means is, can you follow instructions? And I'm sorry to say, but people who have already put things in the chat, again, I'll just keep this as frank as possible, right? The instruction was very clear that we'll share answers after I say 3, 2, 1, go, right? And it was not followed. And this is something which this will be taken as a red flag in an interview. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, right? I'm just telling you what happens in the industry. So try to follow instructions as closely as possible. All right. Again, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything, but at the same time, giving you a reality check. This is how things happen. Okay, let's see those answers in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have matching skills, experience, and the matching skills, what they're looking for. Skills, how active in social media, projects, proof of skills, tech stack, implementation, educational qualification, projects. Candidate will be able to learn skills, communication skills. All right. Recruiter sees the resume, matches the resume, matching skill sets, practical work, represent, experience, skill, experience, project. All right. Experience, a lot of see the nervousness of the candidate, past experience. All right. Okay. I'll just add a quick context here as well, right? So everything that we talk here is in the context of Roc8. Like we believe that Roc8, you have come to Roc8, will help you get a job, right? So everything that we talk about here is in context to Roc8. So when you say that they'll check for projects or technical skills or everything, these are things that they already know, like hiring partners already know ki we do the vetting. So these are sort of like gone from the criteria. Confidence and all, yes sir, matlab this will come when you actually talk. But from a screening perspective, the first thing that is, let me just write this. All right. The first thing that any recruiter sees is your introduction, which is who are you in case this is your first job, or if it is a switch could be, from the same domain, it could be from a different tech background, it could be from a non-tech background, it could be from, like, you could have had any other previous job. If you had a job, then they need to know why do you want to switch. And today we're just going to look at introductions from a recruiter perspective. And whatever activities we do here, those are not optional. Everything is mandatory, because we know ki this has an impact, and all of this are like directly driven from feedback from hiring partners. So whenever someone is hiring from a team, yes, skills are needed, but from Roc8's perspective, skill vetting is already done. So like all of you here are now at the same like vetting skill perspectives, it is done. Education and all don't really matter. Yeah. So now they want to know who are you. And I'll just maybe read out some introductions as well, so that you have a, okay, give me a few minutes. Let me try to search. Right, let me share screen. Okay. Can you see my screen? Just type in the chat or give me a reaction. What can you see? Can you see my Discord? Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Use
Like try intimidate seeing your faces here. Like you're just so concentrated on what's being talked about here. I think yeah, Swapnil is back.
Continue. कुछ तो अच्छा चल रहा था यहाँ पे.
No, I'm just saying कि seeing their faces, I'm getting intimidated, right? Like some of them are like, as I'm looking at you, like, damn. So I thought got intimidated. I was just telling them, getting them to know more. I think your video is fine now.
Yeah.
I think yeah, God's mercy, internet can't.
Yeah, this is something that you'll like all of you will face while interviewing as well, which is it could be interview acha cha raha hai and then your net starts acting up. It could be the other way around as well. Ki you're already stuck in a problem and then internet adds to your misery. And again, this is like not in your control. So you need to make peace with that. Okay, so we'll go into the feedback mode and we'll keep the time after 7 as like going to hang around or something, but let's get to feedback mode. Okay. Do you see my screen? Do you see Discord?
yes.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll go through introductions. Hello everybody, I am, and this is just me reading from a recruiter perspective. Just thinking, if I am the recruiter, how would I see this introduction as, and whether it stands out or not. And you can do this exercise with me as well, which is you read along with me, and then just what you want to do is you just the context, and the context is very important, right? The context is that the recruiter is seeing hundreds of introductions in one day. Okay, so just like go along with me on how I'm evaluating. You can note things down as well, and then we'll do some activity based on this. All right, Faraz says, hello everybody, I'm Christoph Faraz from Jamshedpur. Looking forward to some insightful and exciting experience. All right, so in this, like this is pretty much like a template thing. I'll just ignore in this, like in case if this is an introduction I get from anyone, I'll just ignore this. It is like a super generic thing. Hello, I'm this from this. I like to make a build web app. This is like, again, this is pretty generic statement. Anime fan. So when you say anime fan, show like you can go more deeper. You can go deeper as in you can say that you can give an example or two of what anime you really like, and that can become like a talking point. If you say something like, hey, I really like Naruto or One Piece or some other anime, think of it as it's almost as a proof of work, right? When you say I watch anime, it's as simple as saying, hey, I know this. Versus if you talk specifics, that gets you in the proof of work zone, wherein, hey, I have really watched anime and this is like, I like this and this. So be specific as much as you can. I love Pani Puri. I think this is like pretty nice. Can eat 40, 50 in one go. If you get a chance, you can challenge me. What that, again, so we are not trying to evaluate or judge this is good or bad. Okay, wo alag hai. Okay, what we are just seeing is ki, is this memorable or not? Is this something which stands out or not? So this is something which stands out, right? And like you don't need to get intimidated or anything by this. We're just sort of going through all of them and we are seeing what stands out, what does not stand out. And I'm not saying ki this would go in a introduction. Understand this difference. I'm not saying at all. Pani Puri nahi jayega introduction mein. ठीक है, but from a recruiter's perspective, like I've read like 8 lines, this is something that has stood out. And this is something we need to understand. If you get a chance this, hello everyone, Aryan, I have 1.2 years front-end experience. Maybe we can talk about kahan pe hai experience, again, being more specific. Enjoying web development, love to travel. Again, when you say love to travel, tell me where did you last go? exploring new places. This generic statement, happy to join, all right. This is Tushar, exploring and applying JS React. Well, this is again generic. I write wrong spellings, all right. So pun doesn't, ठीक है, मतलब यहाँ पे ठीक है, but from a recruiter perspective, we can avoid this altogether. Rahul Agrawal, I'm making a transition to this. This is a pretty clear standout. There's a story here. What I mean by that is, abhi tak, like, I was not invested in anyone yet, but as soon as you, from a storytelling perspective, as soon as you put me in a moment of time, you tell me, hey, this is the journey that this person is on, I immediately get invested. And you can think for yourself as well, right? Maybe you also think, yeah, you know, this person is going through a change. You would also like want to check in with Rahul and see, you know, how is that process going? What are the challenges? Maybe after a few weeks, you'll check him, where are you? Maybe after 2-3 months, how was the transition? So ekdam se, there's a story element here. Feel free to like stop me or raise hand, directly unmute and talk wherever you feel ki whatever I'm commenting is not, you're not understanding, or it is like I can elaborate more on it. Happy to do that. There are no wrong answers here. Like the only reason I'm commenting is for you, right? So if you're not understanding, or if you think you need more context, just interrupt me at any time. Your success criteria is interrupting me. Yeah, your success criteria is not key. You are on mute on the whole call. Fun thing about me, I'm not addicted to reading. I can stop as soon as I finish the next chapter. All right, I'm excited. Okay, hello everyone. I've been creating React.js and Java and progressing. Nice. So again, this is something that can become a talking point. It stands out. This 2 years is again very specific. So like when someone says, hey, I'm exploring and applying something, versus as soon as you become specific about anything, it stands out. So again, you can make a note of this, be specific as possible. I've been creating web applications in this for the last 2 years. All right, love watching firstly. This is Rahul Kumar from Bihar, currently residing at Bangalore. I have 1 year of working experience, but not as front end. All right, so either you say ki ha ye experience hai, and then you're transitioning, that's a good thing. But this is like you told something, but you did not really tell ki kya hai, and you're sort of expecting ki koi ab follow-up question puchega and then you'll answer. But think ki this is just a text on someone's screen, and most likely it will not ping you for any questions or any clarifications. So most of the important information you want to put it out in the first, in the introduction itself. Whenever I see my salary slip, I get motivated to switch. I think this is a very fair introduction. Like abhi tak ki introduction, I think this is the most realist line. Like I would be happy to see this in the introduction, because this is like this everything else feels like copy paste. This feels like key. And again, I want you to think for yourself as well. As soon as we're reading this, what did you feel when you read this line? What emotion did it invoke in you? And I think the initial part of the code is all about this. We're working on the soft skill aspect of you. Technical is there. Technical will polish again after when we are done with your portfolio polish. But right now it's all about getting your foot in the door. Happy to join. I'm Namrata. In my spare time, I like to paint. All right. It can be more specific. Maybe you can talk about. I'm pretty sure there would be like different subcategories here as well. So the more specific you get, it's a proof of work. You really paint. Besides, I'm VCA this, going to look for a job. All right. Pratik, I'll work working so remotely. We can have a discussion over Ruby on Rails. Again, very, very specific. React and Node.js, looking forward. All right. Shweta, CS, little about me, love to play with CSS, exploring JS. So I think this is something thoda redundant, because if you have built projects, then CSS, JS, HTML, React, yes, you know, new habit reading books. I think this is pretty cool. If you can follow up on this and say, hey, this maybe you liked a book very much, you can name that book, or but you can just go one line deeper into why you like reading books. My name is this, engineering grad. I started learning web dev 9 months ago, currently looking for a job. Big fan of Nushers. Okay, all right. But excited. Love to observe planets and distant galaxies through my telescope. This is something, of course, I am saying this, it stands out. But I also want you to understand whether it really stands out or not. And let's just be like, let's do a honest waterfall in the chat. Type yes or no in the chat. Don't press enter yet. Of course, I have said this key, it stands out. So thoda sa bias already, thoda ya kafi bias already hai. But I want you to like do an honest judgment of this line. Ki agar this is there in someone's introduction, ruko, don't press enter yet. Like, would you want to talk more to this person or not? And this is the meta learning I want you to take away from today's session, which is how to get more interviews. So if your portfolio gets shown to 5 people, how do you, or let's say 50 people, agar pehle, without video kind introduction, agar if you get like X responses, how to make it 2x, how to make it 3x, how to make it 4x. That's what we're doing here. All right, let's see those answers in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Shweta says yes, Pratyush says yes, Harshna says yes, because it's something different from generic answers. And I want you to understand that this is the typical introductions that recruiters get, right? Because this is the TG, right? This is people are looking, so we're talking specifically about front-end jobs. So this is the group here. And then they're reading this, they're getting introductions, like lots of introductions every day. So anything that stands out, that makes you stop and say, Acha, okay, let's talk to this person. All right, Ishika says yes, Vaishnavi says yes, 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 yes. More to know about, exactly. So this is something I wanted to focus. This is more to know about. It creates a curiosity gap. It tells you that this person is interesting. And I want, like, okay, this was not a planned learning for now, but I'll just take a moment to sort of, I'll just maybe stop sharing. All right, I'll take a moment to emphasize on this, which is as soon as you hit that holy grail of, hey, there's something more to know about, I want to talk to this person, right? This gets you in the zone of, hey, this person is interesting. And there's a very close parallel to the like hiring ka sabse close parallel is dating, okay? So as soon as you have invoked this reaction in the other person, that okay, this person is interesting, I think that is your success metric. So you want to say something that makes you stand out. At the same time, there should be more to talk about that. And you should understand why this is important as well. And this is something that should apply to anything that I talk in this cohort. Don't take anything at face value. You should yourself understand why that is important. So why the topic that we're talking about, which I want all of you to write, is people want to work with interesting people. Okay, I want all of you to write this either in your physical notebook or in your digital Google Doc or Notion page you are maintaining. You'll have to submit that as well, so that you actually make those notes. People want to work with interesting people. And why is that the case? Is because office or work, a job, is an integral part of your life. You are going to spend 1/3 of your day, like 8 hours is the typical expectation. You're going to spend 1/3 of your day with them, half of your waking hours, right? If you follow a healthy 7-8 hour sleeping schedule, then you'll spend almost half of your waking time with them. And outside of work, if you're interesting, that sort of plays a lot into your hiring. Again, I'm not commenting on ऐसा होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है? That discussion is something we can do in 10 p.m. calls. So 10 p.m. calls are like chill calls. Those are something where we can rant or talk about anything. This is a feedback call, right? We're talking about how the industry works, how human mind works, and how it works as of today is if you see something interesting, you're attracted by it. And that is something I want to take away. Okay. We will go back to the introductions. All right. Okay. I was in the chat. More to know about. Yes. Yes. Rishabh says yes stands out a lot to me, like काफी unique. Okay. So like just see this reaction, right? I want you to see others' reactions as well. एक तो तुम्हारा reaction है, and then others का reaction क्या है? And if it is so similar, then you can be, and I'm giving you perspective of recruiter. So तुम मान के चलो recruiter का भी यही होगा. So Rishabh says stands out a lot for me, like काफी unique. Yes, yes. Okay. There's like not a single no here, which I'm very surprised because no hota to thoda interesting conversation hota. All right, Asif has no. Asif, I want to hear from you. Again, no wrong answers. You just try to say ki bhai, like why this does not stand out, and this is just getting some perspective from you.
So to me, the knowledge of cosmos and planets is like according to my experience, knowledge about planet and cosmos are very few people have knowledge about it. So like even though I know few things, I don't know much things. So it seems to me like majority of the people don't know about planets deeply.
Got it.
That
So,
was my
okay. I think this is something that I can tackle a bit. So it is so that it's not about key whether a topic is sufficiently popular or not. It can be a very niche topic. It could be that you really like I don't know, maybe you really like, okay, give me a niche interest. Okay, I'm like all out of ideas. Okay, can someone give me books? No, give me a niche interest, like
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon cards.
Like this is like all of us here, right?
Yeah, many
Unless
people.
you're very young, like this is all of us. Like give me like a very niche down, like planting. Maybe let's say you are only interested in like
collection of stamps.
collection of stamps. ठीक है, I'll take that for now because stamps are sort of थोड़ा rare, थोड़ा क्या काफी rare now. So collection of stamps is a pretty niche thing, right? But what signal it gives to the recruiter or the employer or the hiring manager is if you are interested about something, then you basically care about something enough, right? And that shows that you're capable of caring. And what that extrapolates into is you can also care about your work. You'll also care about so it is almost like a proof of work for, hey, this person is interested about things, versus if you say ki nahi, I don't have any interest at all, that pretty much translates into, again, I'm not saying it is good or bad, right? It is right or wrong, that is not the debate here. The thing from a recruiter's perspective is, and if he or she doesn't have any interest, then maybe work के प्रति भी यही outlook होगा कि just मतलब ऐसे ही. So this is something I just want to take away. It's not about कितना popular है वो. It's about like, do you have something which you're interested about, and that shows a much more greater deal than you might sort of take it on face value. So that is sort of just want to put out there. I think we are going to like shoot ahead of like we are going to exceed the time. I had not planned for that, but yeah, ठीक है. Love Planets चल रहा है. My name is, I'm from Bengaluru. I have 1 year experience. I'm also ठीक है. Myself is complete my graduation, University of Delhi, BA Political Science. Besides this, I love to read this, paint mandala. So like this is very, very, very specific. I love this. Build UI for web applications. I think this is like pretty much, if you're applying for a front-end job through Roc8, this is sort of given. So I'm saying yeah, but when we craft your introduction, this is not needed. I'm Mudra, Jane grad. I have 1 year experience. Cool. Rishabh transitioning from tech to non-tech, long awaited, quite a journey. I think this is like lovely story. They should go. Fun thing is I almost can't live without Indo's namkeen. All right. Pretty interesting. And again, I just wanted to think of how like when you're reading a lot, right? Ek to hota ki you're just reading one introduction. But when you read a lot of introductions, anything that makes you stand out, it really like makes you stop. It's almost like you say you're scrolling on Insta Reels and ekdam say something catches your attention. Why scene it? I'm not saying this will go in the introduction, but I'm just saying this is attention catchy. This catches attention. Currently exploring and developing responsive and user-friendly applications. I want to know like how that user-friendly, like this does not capture kaise user-friendly. Maybe if you give an example or two, that would be great. Drinking coffee, tea, theek and tea. This is interesting, like coffee and tea. Okay, like most people are either like coffee fans or tea fans. Shivani looking for a job. Fun thing is I like to watch thriller movies. All right. Asif front end. Harshna love learning new things. This sort of like generic. Matlab, uh, what I mean by generic is ki if I just copy this line and add to any other introduction, this will probably work. Let's say if I copy paste to Asif and I say Asif loves learning new things, this will most likely work. I'll put it into Mikey and I'll put it into Tony. Tony loves learning new things. Well, that is how you're here, right? So just giving a perspective key from a standing out perspective, this is pretty generic. Favorite pastime is reading, all right. Tony working as a SD1 at Siemens, looking forward to making a career as a front end developer. All right, maybe pehle you're not. So maybe there's a transition story there. Vivek Kumar, who previously worked as a Metaverse 3 developer, giving my time digital sketches, very nice. All right, Pratyush, switch from this to this. Love to listen music. Favorite Adil Islam, Basha, video games like this. ठीक है. I think like this sort of like काफी non-tech हो गया. Will sort of like limit it to like maybe one thing or two. ठीक है. So coming to today's activity, which is how I want you to let me start. ठीक है. So you will see a new section in your Discord, which is story of my life. यहाँ पे what you need to do is just create a post with your name as title, and maybe I'll just write it down as well. Template. Okay, I'm just using. I should have done this thing before the call, but yeah, I'll just do it right now. So create a post with your name as title and write all things, all maybe I'll say, try to write that might make you stand out. Okay, we are not looking for an exact answers here. If you have like 5 things, 10 things, 12 things, 20 things, just take some time. मतलब अभी के अभी नहीं करना है. You have time till tomorrow 6 p.m. You can just take this time. You can pick out things from your college. You can pick out things from the last 12 months. You can pick out things from childhood. 10, 20, 30 things, jitne bhi things you can write down, just do that. And then we'll do a feedback thing tomorrow. And by Wednesday, the idea is that we finalize your introductions, we finalize what is the story of your life. We'll tell you kaise karenge and everything. But for now, the next action item for you, today's homework is create a post here in Story of My Life channel. And then you don't need to like post all items together. If you find 3 items just post it there, you can edit it later. But just try to think hard, jitna things you can come up with. It can be about your interests, it can be about any transitions, it can be about anything in tech specifically that you feel might make you stand out, and we will make it together, right? So you don't need to, in case you feel कि अरे नहीं मेरे पास तो बस एक ही चीज है और कुछ आ ही नहीं रहा, we'll give you prompts, will sort of help you get there. But for now, like, this is sort of the homework for today. Deadline is tomorrow 6 p.m. session. That is about it. Any question, any doubts in the homework?
Yeah, Swapnil, I had one question. So do we just have to mention the things that make us stand out, or we have to write our entire introduction?
I would say write as much as possible. If you want, you can just write your entire introductions. Don't need to focus what makes you stand out. I think maybe let's do that tomorrow. For now, let's write as exhaustive introduction as possible. Let's say if you are given key, there's no word limit on your introduction. How do you write it? Forget the standing out your coach. I think standing out is also something which others can help you more. But for now, just think of it as a free text without any limit introduction. अगर देना हो, मैं आधा घंटा बोलना अपने बारे में, तो what will you say? कितने stories you will tell and all that. All right. Can be future perspective? Yes. So आज का homework is about anything. It's open ended. तुम्हें जो लिखना है लिखो, and then we'll get into ki what to keep, what not to keep. Wo will do. That we'll do tomorrow. And the idea is that till Wednesday we finalize introduction, and I cannot stress this enough. This is one of the highest ROI activities that you'll do. It might just feel कि ये क्या है, मतलब ये क्या है. But yeah, I can tell you from experience that introduction or a story, it is introduction. The idea is story will come from that. Let's divide this activity into two parts, which is 11:59 tak you write your introduction as long as possible, and then till 6 p.m. Tomorrow you go through 2-3 other intros and comment what you like from them in that post itself. Going back to the first community values, give more than you get. So if anyone, like, don't wait for koi aake will review yours. Instead, just go and review 2-3 others. No limit as such. If you don't want to review, that's fine. But if someone comes and review yours, you are bound to go review theirs. That is there. That is about the homework for today. Cool. Any questions? Okay. So what we are going to do now is we'll end the session officially, and now it is just more of like going to hang around, which I hope you do. We'll go to breakout rooms, and what we'll do is we'll let me just move the recording.